Dear students, today we will study about the religious developments in the medieval period. The medieval period has great importance in the religious development of India. During this period, many religious ideas and practices came into existence that have deeply influenced the life of the people for centuries. Among them, the two main popular beliefs were the Bhakti and Sufi thoughts. These religious movements have been evolved since the 8th century. At that time, people worshipped different gods and goddesses. They believed in the idea that all living beings pass through countless cycles of birth and rebirth. People could be free from these vicious cycles by performing good deeds. They also believed that all human beings were not equal even at birth. They thought that social privileges came from birth in a noble family or a high caste. Now, there were many who used to criticize the prevalent religious ideas. Now, there are too many reasons behind that. Firstly, the social order had many unequal social castes. The lower castes were oppressed by the upper caste. Secondly, people were uneasy with religious sacrifices which were performed by Brahmins. So they turned to the teachings of Buddha or Jains, according to which it was possible to break the cycle of birth and rebirth through personal efforts. Thirdly, the teachers of Bhakti or Sufism wanted to free the right of worship of God from the Brahmins. So they rejected the idea of elaborate rituals to please the god. Then local myths and legends become a part of the Puranic stories. Now, what are Puranas? Puranas means a class of Sanskrit sacred writing of Hindu mythology. Then finally, the Puranas also recommended that it was possible for devotees to receive the grace of God regardless of their caste status. Now, let us study about the Bhakti movement. Now, Bhakti means a person's loving devotion to his or her chosen deity. It comes from the Sanskrit term bhaj, means to divide or share. This refers the two-way relationship between the deity and devotee. The Bhakti movement began in South India around the 7th century and gradually spread to different parts of the country. The deities like Shiva, Vishnu, Durga were now worshipped through Bhakti. Bhakti movement in South India. The Nayanars and Alvars led new religious movements in South India. The Nayanar leaders, who were devotees of Shiva, saints devoted of Lord Shiva, while the Alvar, they were devoted of Vishnu. So they told how to attain salvation. Now, the 63 Nayanar saints and 12 Alvar saints of Tamil Nadu lived from early 7th century to the middle 9th century and preached bhakti or devotion to gods. They came from all castes, including those considered untouchables. Now, during this period, hagiographies, which means the religious biographies of the Nayanas and Alvas, were also composed. Now, let us study about Shankaracharya. Children, Shankaracharya was one of the greatest philosophers of India. He was born in a village in Kerala in the 18th century. He preached the Advaita philosophy, which is the doctrine of oneness of the individual soul and the supreme God, which is the ultimate reality. That is, God and created beings are one and the same. He helped in the revival of Hinduism. Now, let us study about the Ramanuja. Ramanuja was born in Tamil Nadu. He was a great bhakti saint. He believed that devotion to God was more important than knowledge. He was deeply influenced by Alvars. He preached the Vishwadevata philosophy. According to this philosophy, the soul retains its identity even after uniting with Brahma. He taught that the best means of attaining salvation was through intense devotion to Lord Vishnu. Now let us study about the Basvana. Basvana children, he was born in Karnataka in the mid 12th century and he also started one movement. According to this movement advocated for the equality of all living beings. Now let us study about the saints of the Maharashtra. Between the 13th and 17th century, many saints of Maharashtra popularized the Vithala worship, that is Vishnu worship, and they worship Vithala. And the important saints were Janeshwar, Namdev, Eknath, and Tukaram. Now, according to the Bhakti movement in North India, many saints came named Tulsidas, who taught that how the people of all castes could come ahead. Then came Surdas, who was the ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then Shankradeva, he was an influential bhakti saint of Assam, and he was an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then came Ravidas, who was a great saint who belonged to the caste considered untouchable. Then Mirabai also came. She was the wife of the crown prince of Mewar. She was a disciple of Ravidas, and she gave up her life for the gave up her life of luxury and became an ardent devotee of Lord Krishna. Then came Kabir. Now, Kabir was one of the leading Bhakti saint of the 15th century. He had lived before Guru Nanak. He was popularly called Kabir Das by his devotees. And he was a weaver by profession and was a cosmopolitan in his outlook. Many of his verses have been also included in Guru Granth Sahib, and others are compiled in the form of the Panch, Vani, and Bijak. Now, next we will study about Guru Nanak. Now, children, Guru Nanak was a great Bhakti saint. He was born at Talwandi, Nankana Sahib in Pakistan. He was married and had two sons. And Nanak travelled far and wide in Southeast Asia and went to Makkah. His successors came to be known as Gurus. Sikhism emerged in the process of public debates and preaching the message of Guru Nanak. His songs, along with those of Kabir, were collected in the form of Adi Granth, which is also known as Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and it became the holy scripture of Sikh religion. So I hope, children, it is clear to you. Thank you.